Jai Anilo Premadano Paramakacho
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Krishna Consciousness, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Krishna Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Aschakadesakari Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radhe Shri Advaita Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Om Gyanantimirandasya Gyananjana Chalakaya Chakshurumilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurudaya Nama Om Vishwadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharya Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prashtadadeshavadi Vanashakarupatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvidyacha Patithanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashti Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare. It is a great pleasure and fortune to be amongst all of you again in this very, very holy abode of Srimati College. That place where our dear godmother, friend, and guide, His Divine Grace, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, devote such an extensive amount of one's heart and soul into development. Darshan is very beautiful. Sanji Sri Radhika adorned with gold and black garments. Lord Chaitanya performed the pastime of cleansing Guruji Chaitanya. It is described that when he was cleaning the Guruji Chaitanya with his devotees, he was working or serving with such enthusiasm that it appeared that he had 1,000 arms. That's how fast his arms were moving. He taught us that we must clean the temple of the heart so that we can perceive the Supreme Personality of God. Krishna is in everyone's heart, but he only appears by his own sweet throat. To please Krishna is the only criteria of success. Tapu vir vijastarashtas, varnashrama vivakash, svanushtita siddharmasya, samsiddhir haritosha. Whatever our occupational duty, whatever our particular status or order of life, our purpose is only to please Krishna. If Krishna is satisfied, we have success. If the whole world is bowing their heads at our lotus feet, and Krishna is not satisfied, our life is a miserly failure. Bhaktivedanta Swami sang this beautiful song. When he's worshipping Krishna in the temple of his mind, or the temple of his heart. And this, in fact, is the success of the Krishna Consciousness movement. And this is what Srila Prabhupada and his dear associates and servants have dedicated their lives to do. To build temple within people's hearts. This is the project. The purpose of building big temples of bricks, stone, mortar, steel is actually simply to facilitate building, or let us say, renovating the temple within the heart. You know, renovation is more difficult than building sometimes. It's like in Vrindavan, Pujapati Prabhu, my very dear beloved godmother, I'm seeing him after over 20 years. Such a joy. He's still as blissful and enthusiastic as ever before. Prabhupada's palace. It was Pushpa Samadhi for Prabhupada. The garland, and also his tooth, and the garland from his last rites are placed underneath the deity in that temple. It cost less than $1 million to build it, because the devotees did it all by their own efforts. Although a great masterpiece. The devotees had no skill. However, they learned. They just learned different skills. Carving, bricklaying, marble polishing, cutting, all these things. Because they wanted to do something wonderful for Srila Prabhupada. But somehow or other, because over the years, devotees' basic needs were neglected. Prabhupada's palace went into disrepair. To renovate it will cost between $5 and $10 million. To build it costs less than $1 million. Very well. So to renovate a temple that is in disrepair due to neglect is very difficult. That is the condition of the hearts of the conditioned souls. Magnificent temples of God are consciousness. But because we have forgotten Krishna, we have neglected worshiping Krishna, honoring Krishna, and maintaining proper spiritual standards. Since time immemorial, the consciousness is in vast disrepair. When we're speaking about the heart, we're not just speaking about that little muscular pump that just goes pump, 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 pumps blood. It's not the heart we're talking about. Within that heart is the seat of our consciousness. That is the heart. And to renovate that great temple takes tremendous dedication and attentiveness. And this is really the number one project of the Krishna Consciousness movement. To build and renovate the hearts of the devotees. Because if devotees are satisfied chanting Hare Krishna with each other, then the power of Krishna will flow through that sangha of devotees in such a way that it can inundate many, many people's lives with love of God. This was Tamal Krishna Goswami's very, very strong conviction and his burning desire during the last weeks of his incredible pastimes in this physical world. That the devotees really learn how to come together with love and trust, to take great joy and satisfaction, just glorifying God by chanting His names. Sankirtan means glorifying God, chanting the names in the congregation of devotees. Sankirtan. It is the Yugadharma. Yagyai Sankirtana Priya Vijante Ishu. Those who have good intelligence, they will join the Sankirtan. They will glorify the names of God. So it is really a very, very great need within our spiritual communities all over the world that devotees establish priority to facilitate each and every individual to have the opportunity to make maximum spiritual advancement every single day. To encourage that. Because actually we see that there are places where there are big, beautiful temples that many, many people had to come together to fund the purchase, renovation, constructions. And there's hardly anyone home now. If we have beautiful projects, people will come and take photographs and bring them home and show their friends. Or even newspapers, televisions, magazines may come and make photo stories. And many people say, oh, how beautiful. But what will really change people's hearts is when they see within these structures, whether they are beautiful or whether they are simple. They see devotees who are joyful, who love to be with each other, who find great satisfaction in serving. In other words, devotees who have the genuine qualities of relation. That will change people's hearts. Srila Prabhupada showed that. He began his society in 26 Second Avenue. It's not a very palatial, gorgeous Vedic temple by any means. Simple little storefront. Yet some of the top quality devotees came there. And his next temple was at Frederick Street in San Francisco. There you go. It was about the same size as 26 Second Avenue. Little store. Didn't have arches, didn't have domes, didn't have wonderful altars, didn't even have beautiful deities. All I had was Prabhupada and happy devotees. Good luck with you, bro. And look at what happened in those places. Swami Goswami, Radhanath Prabhu, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhu, Krishna Maharaj, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, Shamsundar, Malati, Gurudas, Mukunda, Jamuna, Jayananda Prabhu. The list goes on and on and on. Some of the most powerful Vaishnavas who spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. How were they attracted? It's by meeting Prabhupada and by meeting Prabhupada's followers. I know one devotee, still a devotee, in the late 60s, he was a hippie. I think you all have some idea what that word means. They asked Prabhupada, one newspaper reporter asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, what is a hippie? And Prabhupada said, you know better than me. And then he continued replying, something extraordinary. So Prabhupada, it was quite amazing to see a hippie. In India, people who are poor are so eager for money. They're so eager for some comforts, for some basic necessities of life. And here are middle class and upper middle class Americans with all the comforts of the world. Comforts that even the upper class Indians can hardly afford. Gave it all up. To live in the streets. Very well. So this person was a hippie. I don't know if I should mention his name. But he was on LSD. You all know what is LSD? Something extraordinary also. And he was just walking around Haight-Ashbury, just seeing colors, and shapes, and designs, and just thinking, what is the purpose of life? And then this Radhanath Sankirtan came. And he wasn't impressed, he wasn't not impressed, he didn't know what was happening. He was just kind of standing and watching, kind of hallucinating, like, what is going on here? And then one of the devotees in the Radhanath Sankirtan Guru Kripa Prabhu, he just came up to him and started dashing his card towels right in the person's face. And he ordered that devotee, he said, dance! So the person was scared. This was going to kill me with these secrets. So he started kind of dancing. And then a few minutes later, he came up, stop it, told him, chant! He didn't know the words, he was just trying to pretend out of fear. Then after the kirtan was finished, they just pushed him in the van with the devotees. And he went back to the temple. And then they just bring him in the temple, and it's just this little storefront. He's just sitting there, like, where am I? Who am I? And devotees would just went around their own business, and he was completely bewildered. He wasn't impressed. He was bewildered. Why are these people doing to me? And then Jayananda Prabhu sat next to him. And very lovingly, very caringly, we're so happy you're here. Krishna's special guest. We started talking about Prabhupada. He brought a big feast of prasad. And then the person started taking a little interest in the prasad. And he was just so nice. He was just so nice. He said he was the friendliest, nicest person I ever met. He was too intoxicated to understand any philosophy. But one thing that impressed his heart is this is the nicest person I ever met. He was like a person on the street. Nobody cares about me. And then Jayananda Prabhu invited him to come back tomorrow. So he came back for only one reason, just to be with this person. And he said, come back tomorrow. Gave him prasad, spent time with him, talked to him. And Jayananda Prabhu said, why don't you just live here? So he lived there. He never left. To this day. Over 30 years later. Wonderful, wonderful devotee. Dedicated soul. Wonderful preacher. This person's a good preacher. And there were so many people, maybe not as intoxicated as you, but just by coming into the temple and meeting devotees and seeing the relationships amongst devotees. What is this philosophy? This is something not of this world. When you take food, even if you take the most nutritious food filled with vitamins and minerals, if you can't digest it, what is the value of the vitamins and minerals? They just come in one side and go out the other, yes? As they say. So our power to digest means the power to assimilate those nutritions within our body. And we get strength and health. So the philosophy of Krishna consciousness is perfect and complete. Everything is there. It can completely transform a person's life. Once a person understands, in truth, the principles of Krishna consciousness, then the greatest mysteries of life are resolved. Who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with God? How to reestablish that relationship with God? How to harmonize my spiritual principles with my everyday life? The most basic as well as the most subtle and profound scientific philosophical principles are there in Krishna consciousness. And anyone who opens their heart to understand it, their lives will be transformed. However, we have to digest the philosophy. And that is where the compassion of the Vaishnavas is essential. This particular devotee that we're speaking of is one out of many. Even in 26th Avenue, some of those very, very early great souls, many of them say, actually, we couldn't really understand the philosophy so well. Prabhupada had a heavy accent. But Prabhupada was just the nicest, most loving, caring person we ever met in our lives. They trusted him. What he spoke, they believed because of his qualities. When you're in that state of mind, then you can actually digest, assimilate the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. To exhibit and live by the culture and the attributes of a Vaishnava is the most important priority. In fact, at a certain point, Srila Prabhupada started some temples. It was quite early on too. Started some temples, printed some books, made quite a few devotees. And do you remember Prajapati? That famous statement that came out in a letter to all the world. He said, now it is time to boil the milk. This was in the early 70s. It is time to boil the milk. That means he wanted quality. And what does quality mean? Quality means each and every individual devotee to really understand and live by the principles of a Vaishnava. Tolerance, forgiveness, compassion, strictness in our own life, developing real attachment, really striving to develop a real attachment to the chanting of the holy name, to hearing the philosophy, the teachings, the pastimes of the Lord. And learning etiquette. When a newspaper reporter interviewed Prabhupada, he asked, "How will we know your devotees?" Prabhupada said, "You will know my devotees because they are perfect ladies and gentlemen." And he was speaking in terms of that person's standards of a lady and gentleman. Honest, integrity, no hypocrisy, respectful, humble. When devotees have these qualities, then they become transparent. When you're really humble, you become transparent. When you really live in a life of dedication, and in that transparency, Krishna's attraction flows through us. But when we are egoistic, when we put our own selfish interests, our own self-centered concerns as a very important priority of life, and due to that pride, even when we speak Krishna consciousness, it's like Jamuna. Jamuna is always pure. Jamuna cannot be contaminated. However, you can put so many other things along with Jamuna. And then, what do you get? Here we go. It's like this pollution of the Jamuna. If you go to Vrindavan, you will see there's the Jamuna flowing, and then there's sewage canals of thick, black sewage. It's like syrup. It's deep black. You know, see? And it's just pouring into Jamuna. Sometimes the canals are almost as big as the Jamuna. It's merging. Anyway, so the philosophy of Krishna consciousness is pure. But when we have all our selfish motives and all our egos and everything else, that sometimes just gets, people see that. They'll get purified by hearing the philosophy. But when they see all the pollution in our own behavior, or in the way we're presenting things, not in the spirit of compassion and service, but in the spirit of ego, a lot of people will not bathe in the Jamuna. Yes, even though they should. So a lot of people, they come to our temples, they don't really want to bathe in Harikatha. They don't really want to bathe, which means follow our wonderful instructions, because they see us. Or they see something about us, what we're speaking, how we're living, how we're dealing with each other. So it's very important that every devotee, not just the senior leaders, but even the bhaktas, the bhaktis, every devotee has to take a very serious and personal responsibility to purify their heart. Take responsibility to really live by proper principles, with proper spiritual integrity. When you have integrity, even if people don't understand what you're saying, they will respect. His Divine Grace, Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He exhibited this quality in very special ways. Today, one of our wonderful devotees from here was telling that she was running a restaurant for 12 years. Goswami Maharaj would come with professors, leaders of other religions, teachers, and other academic people. And he changed their hearts by his respectfulness, by his gentlemanly qualities, by his graciousness, by his humility. They really, really accepted Krishna consciousness in their own way. And they will eventually become devotees. Srila Prabhupada, he was just so intensely concerned with saving a person's spiritual life. And people could understand that. When he preached, he was really a friend and a well-wisher. To make a devotee is difficult, but to keep a devotee is many times more difficult. Do you agree, Prajapati? After all, Brahma is a creator. He's a Jivana. And Shiva, he's his own Tattva, Shiva Tattva. He's the destroyer. But neither of them can maintain. Only Vishnu can maintain. Creation and destruction are not all that difficult. Maintaining is the job of the Supreme Personality of God. So Krishna conscious culture is a culture by which, if we maintain devotees in high standards with enthusiasm, with love and trust, then through that transparent song of the Vaishnavas, Krishna manifests. Krishna's all attractive. So many sincere people will be attracted. In my experience, America has never been more fertile to accept Krishna consciousness. Perhaps more than the 60s and 70s. Krishna consciousness is. Should I read it now? It's an emergency call from India. Very well. We'll finish the 2 minutes. This material world, emergencies come at any moment. We do not know. But anyways, I have become distracted. America is very much special position. Because actually, the people of the 60s and 70s who were searchers are now the older generation. In their 40s, their 50s, their 60s. And actually, although they may have really been distracted by economic development and everything, they have that natural tendency to search for something more. The young generation is so receptive. Why the movement isn't really expanding now as it did then? It's not because the culture is less receptive, it's more receptive. It's because in those days, devotees were very united. They were enthusiastic. They wanted to share the message. They wanted to preach. If we can give best quality of our lives to create a Vaishnava culture here in Dallas, and for that matter in all centers, if the devotees are satisfied practicing Krishna consciousness, it will have an immense impact on the world. His Divine Grace Tamal Krishna Goswami Prabhupada really and very genuinely wanted to create a real sense of Krishna conscious culture through very high quality relationships amongst us. This the two of us discussed on many occasions. We had very, very deep realizations in this regard. And that's really what he invested so much time and energy in all of you. He gave so much personal encouragement, so much personal care, so much of his life and soul to make you very stable, satisfied, and also enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness. Life is dull unless we have challenges. And the nature of the mind is it's lazy. The laziest word. But actually, to the degree we make sacrifices and accept challenges beyond our ability to achieve, that's when Krishna consciousness becomes really exciting and dynamic. That's where the bliss comes. When we really set our goals to do incredible things, and we have to really depend on Krishna, Guru, and the Vaishnavas. And then we see miracles taking place. And somehow or other we all see that we're little instruments. Krishna consciousness is never born. We have to be enthusiastic, very enthusiastic. And we have to create that sangha that generates such enthusiasm. And that especially comes when there's Vaishnava Seva. It's the spirit of servant of the servant of the servant. That is Vaishnava, servant of the servant of the servant. Appreciate others. Don't expect appreciation. Encourage others. Don't expect encouragement. serve others. Don't expect others to serve us. That's our culture. We call every other devotee Prabhu. Sometimes we say, in anger, in a condescending way, we say, Prabhu. Prabhu, wash my socks. That is not the spirit of Das Dasana. If someone is Prabhu, that means their master. If they're master, what does that make me? Servant to serve. That's Goswami Maharaj's first book, Servant of the Servant. One of the most well-written, inspiring books I've ever read. So when we understand the spirit of servant of the servant, and try to actually analyze what it means to be served, in our life, then we will discover the most sublime treasure of all treasures. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur explained the ultimate designation one can achieve is to be Das. The highest title in all of creation is Das, servant. Because in that understanding we find Krishna, we find the entire spiritual world. But what is this material world? It is a place where Prabhupada explains everyone is trying to lord it over material nature. Everyone wants to be proprietor, everyone wants to be enjoyer, everyone wants to be master and controller. That is the source of all suffering. To serve. So I'm so happy to be here. So many wonderful, wonderful devotees. And into Tamal Krishna Goswami, Gurudev's blessing, and the inspiration he invested here, there is an immense potential. We really find the deepest experience of the presence of our spiritual master in making sacrifice to fulfill his desires, to help him in his mission. Here at this beautiful temple of Sri Radha Kalachandji, there is a great, great, great potential that he has invested here in all of you. Through his lectures, his training, his example. And what does he want to be fulfilled here? A vibrant, dynamic, united community of Vaishyas who love to come together to chant the holy names, who love to offer the best they have, the best they are, for the pleasure of Radha Kalachandji, who are enthusiastic to make this such a dynamic spiritual center of high quality Krishna consciousness that will attract so many people in Dallas, in Texas, in America, in the world. A community that can be a shining light and example for our society and the world. Would you agree that that's what you would like to be done here? And through so many wonderful ways, culture, through academics, through cleanliness, punctuality, through preaching, through book distribution, through drama. Goswami Maharaj was the first devotee in ISKCON to write and publish a drama. Yes, Jagannath, Nataka, what is it? Jagannath Priyanath. Jagannath Priyanath. Incredible. And I remember when they performed that in Mayapur. That was in the early 80s. Sarvabhauma was king of Jumana. And everyone was just crying. Just captured people's hearts. Srila Prabhupada had his Vaikuntha players. Jagannath Prabhu was one of such glorious souls. Yes? Prabhupada would cry seeing their dramas. Prabhupada even once said that these dramas are better than reading my books. Of course, he put his ultimate emphasis in book distribution. But what he was saying, that if a person sees his books being enacted in the drama, how much it really, really penetrates people's hearts. Dramas are based on his books. He wanted to take the Vaikuntha players and travel with them all over the world. So there's so many ways that we can spread Krishna consciousness. But there must be an enthusiasm. And I'm just very, very pleased to be here and to see some of the very senior most disciples of Tamal Krishna Goswami living together, maintaining this project through many, many very, very difficult onslaughts of Maya. They're still going on. And no doubt it's very, very great amount of energy to deal with these situations. But the Vaishnava sees everything as a positive opportunity to please Krishna. And all that Goswami Maharaj invested in you has given you a great responsibility to reciprocate. Srila Prabhupada gave more personal training to him, perhaps than anyone else. And he expected that he would reciprocate by training others. They asked Prabhupada, how could we repay you? Prabhupada's response, what I have given to you, give to others. That's all he asked. He didn't ask for a better Vyasa-san, nicer car, better clothes. What I have given you, give to others. That's all he asked. Tamal Krishna Goswami, I believe in his heart of hearts, this is what he wants from all of us. What I have given you, give it to others. Thank you very much. Should we have a little kirtan, or should I go make this emergency call? What do you think? Should we make the call? I'll be back in 10 minutes and we'll have kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.